Welcome to the Empower Half Hour, your fastest half hour of your week. I am Darren Peppard coming to you from the worldwide headquarters of Road to Awesome here in Colorado.
And I'm Frank Rodesky from Southern New Jersey. Hey, I have an idea. I know you're not surprised.
Yeah, I'm good. Let's go.
How about you and Bradley fly in to Philly and then we'll road trip up to Massachusetts?
I think Bradley has to work that day. That's actually, I think, his second day back to school.
That sounds like a personal problem. All right, well,
I know,
then
he's got to figure it out.
Fly in. I don't know what the airlines are doing right now because I haven't tried to book a flight, but I know that it's a little crazy. They can't get enough people to work with. Seems like that's a lot of the same barriers that people are going through right now.
Yeah, I've got a trip next week. I'm going and working with a group of administrators in Virginia, doing a 2-day workshop for them, and flights aren't cheap right now. And I'll be honest with you, I'm on that airline that at least here, my home airport at DIA, has been having all kinds of problems, and so I'm really hopeful that by Monday they'll have it all ironed back out. But we'll see. But I hadn't thought about flying into Philly and jump in the car with you and we do a little road trip down. I'm gonna have to investigate that. I think that sounds
Imagine the amount of professional development that could go on in 5.5 hours.
I tell you what, there is nothing that beats windshield time, my friend. Nothing beats windshield time. Nothing at all. So what's happening today, man? How are things back on the East Coast?
It's a balmy 95. Possible thunder showers. I have some people coming over in a few. My sisters, my family's here, so we're going to crank up the Barbie, get some burgers, dogs, tuna steaks, clams, and just float in the pool. So I'm looking forward to that. How about you? And then right before they come over, though, I have an interview at 2:40 with some PD that I'm trying to put into a school close to me. So that's about, I'm fired up. It's a fired up day, my friend.
Right on. There's nothing wrong with that. Every day that you get a chance to hit the floor with your feet and they are fired up and ready to go is a great day. So that's awesome. Yeah, not near as much happening here on my end. I spent the day, speaking of windshield time, yesterday. Drove down and saw our good friend, fellow Hall of Famer Steve Wolf. He's hosting his Wild Heart Teacher Retreats, and I went down and spoke yesterday to his current group. Just a down and back. Had a busy day planned for today, so 3 hours each way. But again, quality windshield time. You can never go wrong with quality windshield time. And anytime you get a chance to spend a little time with Steve Wolf, it's always well worth it.
Every time you think you've heard it all, you talk to Steve, and he has a different twist on something that you may have been a witness to, but he tells it differently.
Yeah, without question. Yeah. Well, he was telling this group, about how he and I had met, and it's been, I think, about 15 years since I met him, similar to when I met you, actually probably the same weekend. But definitely, he's got an interesting twist on things, and I'll tell you, he has an interesting twist on how he's doing this retreat, with just giving educators an opportunity to come and spend some time in the mountains and do some hiking, do some fishing if they want to, just relax, and at the same time kind of recharge and kind of shed all of what they've been carrying around for the last year and a half. So kudos and shout out to our guy Steve Wolf. So yeah,
he is amazing, and everyone knows who he is. If you go to a Renaissance conference, and he's one of the tall guys, but I think the average height in Kansas is about 6'5", not mistaken.
Yeah, it's so interesting. The guy played fullback in college, and at his height today, he would not play fullback. There's not a lot of people in the backfield that are of that height,
Well, I think fullback may also be a thing of the past. They don't get enough credit these days. But a question I had for you. I was thinking about this as we were winding down the music, and Chase was, I don't know, waiting for DoorDash or driving for DoorDash or
Yeah.
getting to DoorDash. I don't know exactly, but he was all fired up on the tunes. And when people return in person, most people looks like they are in a variety of ways. How do you start off with that shared vision when everybody comes back? You can put it up on the website, but it's not
right.
It's not the same. So how do we do it?
I think, that's an exceptional question. And I think it almost is like you're reinventing your school from the word go. And, coming up with those really good strategies. And it's going to be strategies, I think, for each individual group, starting with that group of educators when they come rolling in for what is traditionally, a day or two or a week, whatever the district does, of professional development. It's really reestablishing who are we, what are we about, what do we want to accomplish, and how are we going to align, our beliefs and our our beliefs and our behaviors, so that it's crystal clear that this is what we're all about. This is what our mission is. And then it's having strategies to do the exact same thing with your students, and having strategies to do the same thing with parents and with your community, because we've seen this huge shift in education here in just the last, maybe let's say the last 9 months. So the second half of this pandemic, where we've moved past the teachers are revered and oh my God, they're amazing with what they're doing, and sure love to see them. I love what they're on and on and on. But now we're in this place where we've seen education shift a little bit, and there's a different kind of accountability and a different kind of expectation that's there. So I know I'm rambling a little bit on this question because it's such a great question. We really have to communicate and tell our story even better now than what we've done in the past.
I was thinking back to the time when I was a principal and everything that we used to do on the first day for staff lead, the first day for kids, the first day for parents, parent workshops, etc. And would I have done anything different or differently? I think a lot of things in education right now have changed for the good. And there are some things that haven't and need to be fine-tuned. But every year you're fine-tuning the process of what you do and who you are. But you also need to create an environment immediately that's welcoming. As a matter of fact, the breakout session I'm doing for Jocelyn's Renaissance Virtual Conference in 2 weeks is just that. What do you do on the first day? So make people feel like they're wanted, make people feel important, make people feel like they belong, make people feel like we got this and we're in it together. So there are a lot of things, there are lots of things that you can do. Roll out that red carpet.
Absolutely. Just you make it a celebration, right? I know, when you were at Bellhaven Middle, when I was at Rock Springs High, we both did that. How do you really just blow the lid off the place on day one with your staff and with your kids, and just make it a celebration? And I mean, we all know that on that first day of school, your teachers are never more ready to teach and your kids are never more ready to learn. But let's make sure that happens again on day two. And you do that by really creating that atmosphere that people are excited about it. And, hey, we're back, let's give it a theme, give it some importance, some relevance, whether that's, some swag, music, food. I mean, those things are always great things to help bring people back together. I mean, you talked about bringing your family together today, and I heard music and I heard food in both of those. So I think we've definitely just got to really work hard to help people feel like they're part of something special again.
And they are, and that's the key. They're going to be apprehensive. They're going to come around that corner. What's the first thing they're going to see?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it has to be a celebration, because most people haven't been together. They were a lot in a mishmash type of way, in a blended type of way, in a hybrid type of way. But here we go. So let's rock.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and what it can't be is when they come around the corner, you see a bunch of, social distancing signs and the COVID precautions. And not that those things probably are going to go away. They probably won't. But that can't be the predominant message. The predominant message has got to be welcome. We're excited to see you here. Let's get to this. Let's have some fun. Let's do some learning and let's get back to what we do best. Because last year probably wasn't what we do best.
It wasn't, but we made the best of it. So by networking throughout the world, we were able to see some things that we never saw before. We were just talking last week. I used Padlet for the first time. I used Flipgrid for the first time this week because we had sort of a package program that I was using at the university, but it's happening, and the kids are using it. So how can you take what we have and push it forward in a positive light? And what is going to be your breakout song this year, Darren? What's going to be? Like, boom, you're coming around the corner and you're coming up to bat. Here you are. You have 30 seconds of a song. What's it going to be?
My walk-up song has forever been from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Learning to Fly. And I think that continues to be a great message this year. Although I will tell you, there's another Tom Petty song that's been really resonating in my head recently, and that's Running Down a Dream. So I could go with either of those. There's probably a few others. I could guess yours, but I'm just going to ask, what? I'll say I know that it's going to come from Springsteen, but what song?
Well, how about this? Let's back up a little bit. While we're on Tom Petty, We Won't Back Down. How about that one?
I love that song. Yeah.
That's the second song I thought you were going to throw out there. Was We Won't Back Down was kind of resonating with some people that I know. Tom Petty, what a talent. What a talent. I mean, and hey, look, anybody that was dating Stevie Nicks too in their younger days, I mean, you got to give kudos to. What a musical connection that was, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Stop dragging my heart around. Woo!
Yeah, you gotta love that right there. Yeah. Anybody that's a pretty amazing connection right there. And I'll go a little Stevie Nicks for you there. Actually, a little bit more Fleetwood Mac than just Stevie Nicks, but don't stop. Just don't stop.
Nice. As we reminisce here, but let's get back to Springsteen. I'm going to throw out a song that you won't be familiar with. That's off of his latest album. But the classic, the epic that I compare everything to was, what is your Born to Run album? 1975. Every song is off the chain. Every song you can get up and dance to. 10th Avenue Freeze Out. I'm throwing that out there to you off of the Born to Run album. Now let's fast forward to his latest album, Ghosts. You can check it out on YouTube if you don't have the download. So check that out, Ghosts.
I have to check that out. I have not done that yet.
Speaking of building relationships, how about this? His daughter just made the U.S. Equestrian Olympic team, Springsteen's daughter.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, man. Look, I got a screenshot of it. I don't even. I lost track with the family, Springsteen's family, during the pandemic. So I haven't seen them lately. I knew they traveled all over Europe. Jessica Springsteen, yes. I follow everything Bruce Springsteen on Facebook, and congratulations to Jessica Springsteen for being named to the U.S. Equestrian team. Sweet.
So you could say she was in her own way born to run.
Yeah, or the horse.
I mean, to run a horse, but yeah.
That's another topic I heard on the radio today. Okay, Springsteen's daughter or anybody is on the equestrian team. Does the horse get a medal?
No. And the horse is doing, I can't say all the work. I mean, obviously, there's an unbelievable amount of skill and talent that's there,
yes,
and partnership and chemistry with the horse. But yeah, I mean, the horse.
The radio personality looked it up while he was on air and found out that not only the humans get the medals placed around their neck. However, the top horse, the gold medal horse and rider, the horse gets to stand in front of the podium or to the side of the podium or somewhere off to the, but only one, not the top three, as do the humans. But
That's
as you said, the horse is doing a lot of work.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like they just show up and they just give them a random horse. I mean, they're qualifying with their horse.
Commitment and hard work.
Not that I know a lot about it, but I'm pretty sure that's how it works. You don't just show up and draw a random horse and say, hey, let's see what we got.
No, and it's very expensive. I assume it's very expensive. That's why my daughters don't do it. But
yeah. Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, Melissa, you're jumping in at just the right time as we're talking Olympic equestrian and Jessica Simpson, or Springsteen, not Jessica Simpson. Sorry, that's a whole other topic.
That's a whole different cartoon.
That is, absolutely, yeah. Jessica Springsteen qualifying for the U.S. Olympic team in equestrian. That's pretty fantastic. Just gotta love that stuff. The Olympics right around the corner. In an odd numbered year, which doesn't usually happen, but because of the pandemic, all kinds of weird things that don't normally happen have happened. So we get to have some Olympics here in just a couple of weeks.
And they'll be back in 3 years, the summer games. So they didn't, I like that they did that. They didn't just put it off another year, because the window of opportunity for some of these athletes is very small. So in 3 years, boom, they get to come back and go at it again, which I will enjoy. Yeah,
well, you look at the Olympic sprinter who unfortunately has to spend a 1 month suspension because of a THC violation, which I think is ridiculous. But now she doesn't have to wait 4 years. Now it's just 3 years, hopefully, to turn that thing around and get back where she should be and probably win a gold medal.
I'm not saying yay or nay, whatever the banned substances are, they are, but that is a shame, because she is phenomenal. Yeah. She's absolutely a tremendous athlete. And the interviews that I heard before the event seemed like she was also a great person.
Well, and I think, to build on that, I agree with you. And to build on her being a great person, taking complete responsibility and complete ownership and just saying, hey, I knew what the consequences could be. It is what it is. I'm disappointed, but I accept responsibility for my actions. And, that says a lot about her character. She's not just, a flamboyant sprinter and all this kind of stuff. She's also, a genuinely good person.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So what other topics are burning in your head, man? I'm just wondering.
You know what? I have, this is what I was thinking. I was thinking on Friday, an announcement is coming out of the Codebreaker Circle. And so I'm going to hold off until that actually happens. That affects me, by the way. But I'm looking forward to this summer camp on August the 12th. And, whether you and I drive there or we see each other virtually or however we get there, I was originally thinking about flying into Massachusetts. But again, it will depend on the airfare, et cetera. And if I want to get in a car for 5.5 hours, which I very well may, by then. So we'll see what's going on. But the diversification of topics during that day is going to be off the charts, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think just knowing some of the people who have dropped some topics in, some proposals, those kinds of things, it's going to be very unique. I'm looking forward to it, whether I'm in person or I end up doing it as a virtual pop in. I've had some really great conversations with Daphne and with Matthew Joseph. Obviously you and Bradley and I have talked about, how do we get the Empower Half Hour involved during that time frame. I know that it's going to be involved. We don't know exactly the capacity yet, so we'll kind of keep that one held back. But yeah, I think there'll be some really interesting topics. And I know in my case, I'm going to go in a little bit different direction if in fact I happen to be chosen to present at the conference.
And that's sometimes that diversifies your toolbox as well when you get to speak on different types of topics. Right now, I'm doing a slow crawl book study on Padlet that people are jumping in and out of all summer. So that's pretty cool because it gives me a perspective as an author of how people are interpreting what I wanted them to focus on. So those interpretations are giving me a new paradigm and allowing me to see things differently and being able to pay it forward when I talk to people about things like their mission statement, which is something that I'm very on top of. I think I preach it, I promote it, is everyone should have a personal mission statement. So when you're in an organization, whether it's your school, whether it's your department, whether it's a club or organization, say, well, this is my personal mission statement. And whether it is totally in line with the organizations or not, at least you have a starting point for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just I'll put you on the spot. I know you'll answer it, absolutely 100%. And then I'll do the same thing. What is your personal mission statement?
To continually fine tune the quality of my life and the lives of the people around me through commitment and hard work while having fun.
I love it. I love it. Mine is to empower individuals to take ownership of their story and release the leader within.
See, and if we broke it down, which we don't have enough time because this is the Empower Half Hour, your fastest half hour of the week.
Absolutely.
There are a lot of similarities there.
Mm-hmm.
Like-minded people are going to rule the world someday. I just hope I'm around to see it.
Yeah,
in a positive way.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I think that's what it's all about. I mean, I've been pushing really hard on just be a better human, and I got to share this with you too. Obviously, you just shared my personal mission statement, but I've been struggling with putting the right term to what it is now that I'm doing. Now that I've left public education, have now moved into this private side, and I love how you describe yourself simply as disruptor. And I think that's, first off, I think it's perfect. It is absolutely the correct way to describe what you do. And I've been saying over the last several months, well, I'm a leadership consultant and coach. I'm a publisher. I'm a motivational speaker. Nah. I dropped a pep talk this morning that I think absolutely summarizes it spot on. Frank, I'm a catalyst, man. That is what I want to be. And when you take a look at what my personal mission statement is and what I am going to use as that individual phrase, and the same thing is true of yours. Your personal mission statement and disruptor absolutely align with each other. So I think that's one of the critical things that people need to be thinking about.
And I appreciate that. And I mirror a lot of who you are and what you're about, Darren. But people also have to remember, you come out with a mission statement and you could put it on the wall, you could write it on your wallet. I have it on a card, but it doesn't end. That's why the fine tuning the quality part for me. When my children were smaller, when my daughters were smaller, and I used to drag them around to conferences all over the country, and they used to always ask, or when I brought them to the school where I worked, hey, how is it living with your dad? Or, hey, does your dad do this stuff at home, et cetera, et cetera? And explain to everyone is that sometimes I'm not that person that I want around me. Sometimes I'm not that person that I need around me. So you can't forget, to when your foot hits the floor and you take that second step to have gratitude and love. And that can take you to a place where you need to be. But sometimes people are disrupting you in a wrong way. That's why you have to disrupt in a positive way to kind of balance things out and keep it going in the direction that you need to go, and that the people around you need to go, people you love need to go, et cetera, et cetera. So that's part of who we are, I think.
Yeah, no, I think the same. I love that. I just love that so much. And I think the same thing is true of being a catalyst. Sometimes you need to spark yourself. It isn't always about sparking others. Sometimes you have to be able to reach from inside and say, okay, what is it that I need to spark some movement in myself? But then yeah, you're absolutely going to be out there, trying to be that spark to help others just achieve their best self. So yeah, whether it's catalyst or it's disruptor. Either way, you see that I got that right on the first try. And
Look,
and,
man,
and if you looked
that is
closely, you could see me
sweet.
thinking. I was like, it's this way because I know this is over here. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Perfect.
yeah, right on. No, I think that's fantastic, man. I really do. This is good. You and I just having a chance to just sit and visit a little bit. I appreciate, we've got, a handful of folks listening in or joining in, and I'm sure we'll have a few that will watch the replay on this. But for you and I to just sit and cut it up a little bit is pretty good. So we got about 5 minutes left, man. Where do you want to go next? Give me one more thing for us to run with.
I think we have to remind people about. I already mentioned relationship building, but as you move forward, as we move forward, we have to remember that we still have this fantastic network out there, and sometimes it's going to seem like that second step is stuck in cement or mud, and you can't just get it out of or off the floor. Hey, don't forget that the people around you are going to be there to support you in a positive way. So as you go back and it looks like, well, geez, everyone's here. Well, everyone may not be there. You may have everything you need. You may have everyone you need, but there are still other people in your PLNs that will help you. So don't feel isolated. We're here for you.
Don't you think that maybe that's one of the big things, the big impacts for educators coming out of the pandemic? That yes, we had PLNs before, and yes, we were able to lean on each other, but the way that we have leveraged, whether it's different technologies or even just different connections within that learning network, the way that we connect as educators now, it's never going to be what it was before. And those who try to stay stuck in what it was before probably are going to find themselves a little bit left behind, don't you think?
I think so. And our network has just gotten bigger and different, and it will continue that way when we show up in person. And yeah, we have to keep pushing it in a positive direction, and that's who we are.
Absolutely. We're educators. We're resilient. That's what we do. That's what it's all about. Yeah. So I don't know if we necessarily need to do this separately, but we're at that point. So we're going to do this together, though. I'm not going to let the screen choose which one of us does this. We'll just enter into the final thoughts section here in our last 2 minutes. And man, I got a lot of thoughts running through my head right now. So if you got something to jump on, go for it. I got to try to organize. This episode has brought a lot of thoughts up in my head.
I just want to reinforce something that we've been talking about over the last year and a half, is that take care of yourself. Take care of yourself before you push forward. And it's done in a lot of different ways. Sometimes people are out there, hey, if you want to run a marathon tomorrow and you feel good about it, go for it. But if you want to sit on the couch and binge on some TV, then do that as well. You have to take a deep breath, because we're pushing forward, and we're going to push forward in a strong way. Don't forget, peace and love always win.
Love that, man. I was on Brandon Beck's UUP show this morning, and he asked me, for just a couple of tips on self-care, and totally off the cuff too. So I was totally unprepared for it. So I want to just build on what you just said there. Agree with you 100%, and just say, I'll echo something I said this morning, and that is, don't hesitate at all to do something for yourself. I know we are so giving as educators, and we're always wanting to support others. Both of us in our personal mission statement talk about supporting others and helping others, but it's not selfish to do something for yourself, whether that's, there's this one purchase you've been kind of holding off, and you want to do this for yourself, or it's a vacation, or it's a trip to the spa, or it's just sitting and binge watching some TV, whatever it might be, this is the time to do that. Take advantage of it. Take care of yourself, because you can't fill other people's cup if your cup is empty. So get your cup filled up. Have a road to awesome week. Thank you so much for joining us on the Empower Half Hour, your fastest half hour of the week. Thank you so much.
We'll see you next week.